I spent an entire week straight inside of Crota's End, and I know what you're thinking. Are you crazy? Well, yes I am. I wanted to see how much I could learn if I spent a week straight doing the exact same thing over and over and over and over and over and We were also raising tier 1 subs on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/cbgray to help us make our collecting every Destiny 1 exotic in one stream challenge the biggest event ever. If you end up enjoying this 1 week journey, make sure to hit the like button, and if you're new, go ahead and subscribe as we'd love to have you. And if this video hits 5,000 likes, we'll do this when the final shape rate comes. Also, I love you guys so much and I appreciate you guys. And with all that out of the way, let's get into it. Lord help me. For starters, I wanted to solve the first most obvious mystery that you're probably wondering about. But wait, before I do that, yes, Cursed Thrall finishers still send you to the Shadow Realm.
Actually been so lit.
Someone can take from me now?
Still gives me PTSD to this day. So back to the mystery. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? And by that I mean, how many attempts does it take to get all the essence you need for Necrochasm? Let's find out. A few things to preface as we start our journey. I got my Necrochasm prior to spending a week in Crota due to completing contest mode, but I'm still starting this with 0 essence. I'm also not going to be grabbing any triumph / taking advantage of any guaranteed essence for the sake of this experiment. I'll be doing strictly Crota checkpoints, and we'll do some fun calculations at the end of this challenge. With all that out of the way, let's get into the endless suffering. Also, comment below how many runs it took you to get your Necrochasm, or if you're still needing it, how many essence do you need left? We begin our journey with New Light. Just a joke for those who watch my challenges. We down Crota, and to my surprise, he gives us an essence on our first run, starting us off at 1 for 1. Surely this means that my RNG is going to take us straight to the promised land. Unfortunately, the next 4 Crota clears are fails. My 6th run does bear fruit, and I'm able to pick up my 2nd essence. After 2 more fails, my 3rd and 4th essence came back to back, bringing us up to 4 essences and 10 Crota checkpoint clears, so 40%. Honestly, not horrible odds to start with. I failed my 11th attempt before getting lucky again on my 12th run, netting us our 5th essence. RNG then decided to be nice and gave me my 6th essence on the following run. To my surprise, after just 1 more fail, I was able to get my 7th and 8th essence back to back, bringing us up to 16 runs. After failing my 17th try, I was able to bring in 2 more essences in the next 3 tries, bringing us up to exactly 10 essences in 20 tries, or 50%. I can't lie, this was way better luck than I was expecting to get when I was going into this challenge. With that out of the way, we're already halfway done. It's also important to mention that by this point we are 7 hours into the 1 week challenge. Only a lot more hours to go. It's also important to note that for every Crota clear, we were helping 2 people out each time, so it started to add up really quickly how many people were getting helped. If you're ever needing any help with raids, come to twitch.tv/cbgray and we'll try our best to help you out. Back to the raids though, my 11th essence dropped for me on my 21st Crota kill. This was followed by another drought of 4 failed runs, funny enough just like my first essence. On my 26th run, I was able to snag my 12th essence, and lucky number 27th attempt brought me in my 13th on the following run. After this, I was humbled and failed another 4 attempts before getting my 14th essence on my 32nd run. After 2 more fails, I was able to get 3 essences in a row for the first time ever, bringing us up to 17 essences in only 37 runs. Instead of being able to try for our 4th in a row, I actually got to sit and do absolutely nothing because the servers went offline. I used this as an opportunity to take my first real break of the challenge. In the next 5 runs, I was able to grab us 2 more essences, putting us 1 away from the big 20. After failing 2 more runs, my 45th clear brought us the RNG we needed, and I was able to secure the magical number 20th essence, meaning I could go get Necrochasm if I hadn't had it, of course. Time for some fun calculations. Starting off, my essence drop rate percentage was about 44.4%, which all things considered wasn't awful. Let's take it a step further though. There are 4 encounters that can drop an essence in Crota, so let's divide that 45 number by 4. With that math, it would have taken me 11 full clears and 1 additional encounter if we don't take into account any additional guaranteed essences from triumphs or other things like guaranteed full clears. And I know you're probably wondering, what about the catalyst? How many runs did that take? Well, for me, it took 104 runs to secure the 35 essences that I needed. This was about 33.6% overall, so over 100 plus runs, my RNG averaged to about 1 in 3 encounters that I was getting in essence. Pretty cool. A funny thing to note is that you can actually get the masterwork to complete even before you have the catalyst itself.
I'm gonna expunge just to get it. Just kill him. We'll die to the oversoul, but we're good. Oh, I completed my catalyst without having the catalyst.
I had people confused about this who also had this happen to them but didn't know why they couldn't use the catalyst. It's also important to note that by this time we were at the 27-hour mark of the stream. 100 plus Crota checkpoints in just a little over a day and over 200 people that it received help so far, so overall I was pretty happy. This video is sponsored by Enlisted. Enlisted is a new kind of first-person shooter that couples PvP with PvE combat. You can take command of a squad of customizable AI soldiers and fight in a massive battle with hundreds of targets led by other players. Enlisted offers multiple campaigns to play through featuring unique weapons, vehicles, and equipment from the outskirts of 1941 Moscow to the heart of Berlin in 1945. You can play Enlisted for free on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. The game has incredible graphics and details which looks absolutely stunning. Enlisted has over 100 weapons, tanks, and aircrafts to choose from so you can play how you want to play. One thing I really recommend is the campaigns because of how varied they are. They feel more like individual games. You can play Enlisted for free on the PC, PlayStation, or Xbox by using my link in the description or in the pinned comment. You'll get a free bonus pack for registering using my link that includes multiple weapons, soldiers, and a premium account. Thank you so much again to Enlisted for sponsoring this video, and now let's get back into it. Back to the catalyst though. You may be wondering, how do you get it if you already have all of the essence? Well, you have to actually go through a catalyst puzzle which requires standing on 2 different plates and killing a series of sword bearers before the clock strikes 0. I was able to do this later in the stream and secured my catalyst after we downed the final knights after the ear Ute encounter. The nice thing about the catalyst is once I finished the step and had the essence, it didn't require me getting a million kills on it. I did this later on in the stream, but I found it pretty fitting to talk about it now. After this, I kept doing Crota checkpoints over and over and over and over and over and over until the 36-hour mark of the stream. That was when I got my first sleep of the challenge. What did I learn in those first 36 hours? Well, for one, oversouls are really fun.
Why is the oversoul not going down? Wait. I'm not gonna worry about it. Why isn't it going down though? What is going? Wait, now there's 7 seconds now. That was 4 seconds. Ah!
I also learned that shields aren't fair at all.
Oh, he's down.
I believe.
Oh wait, what? Oh.
Oh, he has a shield?
Yeah.
Where? What shield where?
One more thing that I learned on a serious note from doing all of this Crota is that Crota is an encounter that, especially on contests, really makes you feel like you have to rush, but that really isn't the case. I had some runs where we were helping people out who were getting disconnected and there was still time for them to get back into the Crota attempt before Crota even gave his first warning. I would continue doing this for the rest of the week, killing the Crota man over and over and over again. Day 2 became day 3, and day 3 became day 4. And while I learned a lot, I also experienced a lot, like Crota doing instant transmission.
Bro, he's standing still. What do you mean?
Yeah, where are you going, fella?
What are you doing?
Oh, that if he's oh. Also, I have to show a different clip of this because the original clip we couldn't find in the hundreds of hours of this, but Crota's sword does not care about walls.
3, 2, 1. He's booped. He's booped. He's booped. He's. I got killed through a wall!
But getting back to what I was saying, days and days progressed and a new question began to take over my mind. Every time I was hoping someone out, they were hoping for the chance to get a jackpot. What's the jackpot, you might ask? Well, according to Bungie, a full clear could give you a chance at getting all of the essence for not only Necrochasm, but also the catalyst. Unfortunately, the key word there is full clears. So I had to break the bad news to each player that played with me that they didn't have a chance of getting the jackpot while we were helping them with Crota checkpoints. But all of this jackpot discussion really got me thinking, how many runs would it take to get a jackpot in theory if I had a fresh new character? Well, I wanted to solve just that. So on day 5, I went ahead and tested this experiment. It's important to mention that within the first 96 hours, only about 16 of those were spent sleeping. Back to the experiment though, funny enough, one of my most asked questions is what do I do with the extra accounts after doing challenges like the collecting every exotic challenge or the raid exotic challenge? Well, this is a perfect time to pull those accounts out for an experiment like this. Before I started, I wanted to try to get this character some new supers for my Cora, but all I ended up doing was getting soft locked in her menu screen.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna sleep after this for so long, and I didn't even sleep the first night. I was like, I'm such a weirdo. Why am I soft locked here? Why am I soft locked? What is going on? What is happening?
I was hoping to get Burning Maw unlocked, or at least Thunder Crash, but I didn't want to finish the new light quest to unlock the supers, so I decided to move on. On the first full clear, I realized that while the flying chandeliers of death don't instantly kill you, they still really hurt. And also, holes are fun. After finally getting past the lamps, the rest of the runs didn't really provide much resistance. Funny enough, through this experiment, I honestly realized that lamps is probably the hardest part of this raid. This also definitely made me miss checkpoints, but we were on a mission. After finishing lamps, we pushed through bridge, Ute, and finally I'm reunited with my beloved Crota, who was waiting for me to kill him within this twisted love story that we exist in. On the first run, here's what happened.
All right, give me Jackpot. Jackpot first one. Oh, I got 2.
Funny enough, I did get 2 to drop though from this Crota run. One from killing him on a full run, and one from it being my first run of the week. The second and third runs are unfortunately fails as well.
Please. Oh, I got 2. Maybe get 2.
We killed him early.
He did die.
No.
Wait, I did get something, but I don't know. I think I just got 1, and then I think we're gonna wipe.
During these runs, there was something big that I learned that I started calling the Omnigul. Remember when you could kill Omnigul when you were grass farming and she'd drop loot, but you wouldn't mission complete so you could keep farming the same checkpoint? Well, you can do this in Crota too.
There it is, and that's how it's done.
I don't know
That is how it's done, but we will definitely have. Oh, that's not how it's done.
There's a drop over there.
See, I told you. I said it. It's literally the farm. I'm leaving my spoils there. I'm telling you. Quick. I know you. Oh, are we really doing the farm?
I popped Oversoul. What is going on? Second essence.
You got an essence again? You can just farm spoils without having to swap characters. That might not be a bad play.
If you kill Crota at the final moment before he wipes you, he'll actually drop loot, spoils, and you can even drop essences. But the big thing is, it doesn't mission complete. It still wipes you. This meant I could sit here and farm essences or oversouls if I really wanted to all day. After that discovery and taking a much needed break, we get back to the full clears. It's important to note that we're officially on the final day of the challenge, so it's pretty much now or never to get this jackpot. The story of my 4th attempt was more of the same. Painful lamps followed by a pretty smooth time throughout everything else. I pray to the RNG gods and then I roll the dice to see if this one would be the jackpot that we were waiting for.
Please, please, jackpot. Oh, just 1.
I was starting to get nervous since this was the final day of the challenge that we may run out of time without jackpotting. No matter, no time to sulk in our defeat. We dive back into the next run and I hope against hope that this time will be the fabled jackpot. Unfortunately, try number 5 ended up not being lucky at all.
I'm ready for it. Jackpot. Jackpot.
We were running out of time fast. We dive right back in and fly through Crota as fast as we can, getting through the lamp section, getting past the bridge encounter, getting past the singing ear Ute, to finally make it back to Crota, the man feeding into my newfound gambling addiction. The need for the jackpot was great, and you know what they say, you're only one spin away from hitting it big. Let's see what happens.
I got it. I got it.
I got my jackpot on my 6th full Crota run, completing my Necrochasm and Necrochasm Catalyst before I even had the weapon itself. Will this be everyone's story? No, but this experiment at least told me that we had a 16.6% chance of hitting the Crota lottery. Not awful odds, all things considered. This would probably be the way I would do it if I was a new player. This also makes me think that it would have been a better route for me to do this instead of the 105 Crota encounter completions to get my 35 essence, but I was happy with all those that were able to receive help. After this, we kept killing Crota over and over and over again as many times as we could before the clock struck 0. Did I learn anything in these final moments? Well, I learned that even if you sneeze on the oversoul or even look at the oversoul the wrong way, you'll accidentally break it.
It must have been unintentional. I can't believe it. I was shooting sideways. I can't believe that shot the oversoul.
If I had a quarter for every time I did this throughout the week, I would have had enough to open up an essence bank and complete everybody's Necrochasm without anybody ever having to do the raid again. All jokes aside, I did learn one more really cool thing. Here I was doing all of these full clears, trying to figure out how many tries it took to jackpot, when you didn't actually have to do a full run to jackpot.
Masterwork objective complete. Bottomless pit. That was the last one for Catalyst right there. Let's go.
So your eyes didn't deceive you there. A jackpot did happen, but I was doing Crota checkpoint helps, so these weren't full completions that I was doing when this happened.
Wait, they got the wait, it's in them in the jackpot though. Jackpot only comes from 4 runs.
My brain was scrambling trying to make sense of it.
No, it's in the 12. It's in the 12. I read it. No, it's in the 12. I read it on stream. I'll show it after this. Okay, here we go. Let's go back to this again. This is what I was going on with before. Finally, we're adding a chance to strike it lucky and earn all of the essence necessary to complete both Necrochasm quest and the Catalyst when taking Crota down during a full run. So what is a full run? A full run is just literally it's not a full run? What does a full run even mean? That's a piecemealed one, isn't it? It's not I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. Start to finish, it just means do an encounter and then don't do a new encounter twice in a row, I guess?
Yes.
I'm confused. What was your experience then? So did you do first, second, third encounter, get to Crota, the team maybe disbanded or something, and you've just had the checkpoint ever since? Exactly that.
Based on what you just heard there, it was clear that Bungie had said full runs. So how did he get around that? Well, after a few simple questions, all became clear. He did the lamps encounter. He did the bridge encounter. He did Ear Ute. And then he was kicked from his fire team. He joined my fire team, and then he completed Crota. So a full run of Crota, in Bungie's eyes, at least for the jackpot, does not mean one run in one sitting without leaving, but actually just doing all 4 encounters in order. This is something that there's no way I could have known if I didn't spend a week in Crota. And speaking of spending a week with Crota, you'd think that I'd be tired of him. But actually, after killing him over and over and over and over again, somehow I started to become more attached to my old friend. And I was really going to be sad to see him go. At the end of our journey, we downed Crota 208 times. Those additional 2 being my contest runs. A total of 416 people were able to receive help, and we did an additional 6 full clears to get our jackpot run. Make sure to follow at twitch.tv/cbgray and like this video if you want to get help with the final shape raid and if you want to see this challenge again. And just like that, this concluded my long, brutal, but very memorable story on how I spent a week inside the Crota Zen raid. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, you can play Enlisted for free on the PC, PlayStation, or Xbox by using my link in the description or in the pinned comment. You'll get a free bonus pack for registering using my link that includes multiple weapons, soldiers, and a premium account.